Are you asking the right questions for AI-driven sales? Well, when you're launching a new product or a service, it can be something that customers really need to purchase. You got to make sure of that. And many times people will say, well, I'm just using my gut. But you know what? Your gut can be wrong. And with all due respect to your gut, we want to make sure that is supplemented with the best of AI. And in this episode, we're going to show you exactly what you can do right now and how AI is going to help you and how you can boost those sales dramatically using AI, coupled with some time-honored principles that work in relationship marketing. I'm joined by Gina Carr. I'm Terry Brock, and we're going to be talking about ways you can grow with this. Gina, this is a big area of using AI for sales. What are you seeing from a big picture point of view that's really making a dramatic difference?
Well, it's so important to offer your clients products and services that they really need, that they want, that they're willing to pay for. And when you can use tools like AI to reduce the mistakes that you might make, to do additional research on your clients, and to ramp up really the way that you share the material, the products and services with your clients, then it's really going to be much better. So I'm excited to share these three key questions that we're going to be sharing with our folks as to how they can make better decisions to get those products and services out into the world with higher probability that they're going to succeed.
Yeah, it's something really important. Matter of fact, what happened is I was reading in a newsletter that I get regularly from Anne Handley, and she made some really good points on this, like she does so often. And I loved what she said. We actually did a video on this just a little while ago here at Stark Raving Entrepreneurs. And I love these three questions she had. It was about buying new technology. And she said, when you're buying it, does it solve a problem? Does it boost the effectiveness of our programs in measurable, specific ways? That's important right there, measurable, specific ways. And then also, does it trigger deeper, sustainable connections? All of that is really important. And what we did on that, we talked about, and you ought to see that video, but we got to thinking, wait a minute. What Anne said about that applies in other areas as well. So we thought, well, with marketing, that's something we do with our clients regularly, help them to build their marketing and their sales quite a bit. So we thought, let's start with that. Matter of fact, the first one is to start with solving a problem. I think that's really important. And what we do that, Gina, you do that often, I know, in the work you do. What I want to do is look at some of the areas right now that the world is looking at and how we can use this, particularly to solve the problem. One of the tools right now with AI is what they call sentiment analysis. Sentiment analysis says, okay, let's go out and look around. What are people asking about? What are they complaining about? And through the magic of AI, it can find out on websites, on public posts, on areas that are available for anyone to see what people are talking about. So if you're selling, let's say, blue widgets, they're going to look at what people are saying, what they like, what they don't like about blue widgets, etc. And so what you want to do is you want to find out what they're saying and then further go and ask more questions. Ask questions of, okay, what do you think? And tell me more about that. I like the idea of what my buddy Chris Brogan says. As he said very, very well long ago, you need to grow bigger ears. Listen better. And I would agree with Chris on that. We need to grow bigger ears. But I would also say, maybe we need to also grow more ears. Yeah, grow more ears. We could imagine that, where you're able to get a little bit more perspective on what's going on in the marketplace. Take a look at what they're doing and work with it. And you got to take real discipline to avoid an attitude that a lot of marketers have when they go, well, I think I know what they mean. I've been in this industry long enough, or I've seen that, and I know what they want. Well, be careful. It's just like saying my gut tells me. With all due respect to your gut, it can be wrong. And we want to make sure that we're getting it from hundreds of thousands of AI data points. That's going to be better. And why not use the technology, use AI for tools like that? Because what we want to do is we want to get the right answers and be really inquisitive and asking about that. I think that's the key. And Gina, one of the things that you've talked about is the Ikigai and the hedgehog when we're looking at that. Tell us a little bit about what you mean by that when we're looking to solve that problem.
Well, Ikigai is a concept that comes to us out of Japan, specifically Okinawa. It's the basic of Ikigai is, why do you get up in the morning? What do you live for? And so when you are combining what you live for, your passion, with your expertise and with the ability to make money, and all that comes together in a Venn diagram, that is a great way um, to figure out what it is that you're passionate about and that you want to offer the world. And so that you'll be happy as you're working and so that you'll be better at serving your clients. And so the hedgehog concept was presented by Jim Collins in the book Good to Great. And I see a lot of similarities with that concept. It talked about the best companies in the world chose something they could do better than anyone else, and that they had the best expertise for, and that they could monetize. And there must have been a passion component in there also. And so with that, what's the Venn diagram? What's the intersection? What can you do on a personal basis or on your business basis in order to serve your clients?
Yeah, I think that's really important. We're testing for that and finding out. And I think that's a real good thing to do as well. What we want to do is do a lot of initial tests. With AI, we can test a lot real fast and very inexpensively. Hey, it's better today than it was ever before. I remember years ago, it would take a lot of money to do the tests. Today, you put a video out on YouTube, you run a podcast, you try something on a post, and you find out, do people resonate with that? Or they go, where'd that come from? We don't want that. So use AI in your testing to check for that. And remember that important thing of being there to check on sentiment analysis, what people are looking for, how they are, and what can be done. Matter of fact, one of the things we do here at Stark Raving Entrepreneurs is we look at thought leaders who are creating content. They want that consistent cash flow. Gina, tell us a little bit about that and what we're doing here at Stark Raving Entrepreneurs.
Well, if you think about the problem that you solve, well, we think about the problem that we solve. And one of the biggest problems we solve in our program called Stark Raving Entrepreneurs is we help thought leaders to create consistent cash flow. And we do that with helping them learn how to create AI enhanced online programs that will generate money month after month. And so that's something that's been really hard for thought leaders to do. And we say, we help you do what you love to do and get paid for it. And without getting on airplanes and without worrying about, is money going to keep coming in month after month? And so that's a big problem that we solve. And I love using AI to further enhance what we're doing. And I use my AI just as I would use a new team member or a new consultant, a new employee. And I basically have a conversation of, hey, this is our target audience. This is our client base. Tell me more about their problems. What are their problems today? What's keeping them up at night now? And then it'll give me a list of problems, and I dig in. I say, well, tell me more about number one, or tell me more about number three. And then I say, suggest a workshop that I might offer to address problem number three. And then give me the outline. And it really just, it's like a brainstorming partner. It's like the best business partner because there's no disagreement. It's just conversation. And the AI has so much more resources and so much more access to the correct answers and a body of correct answers than an individual would have, which would be much more limited. So I love using AI for this.
Yeah, it's ideal for that. Well, the second question that Anne talks about that I think is very applicable not only to selecting your technology, but also making your sales better is, does it boost the effectiveness of their lives in specific ways? And I love the way that she said that, specific ways, measurable, specific ways. What are we providing in our company? What are we providing that the market wants and is, here's the key, ready, willing, and able to purchase? I think that's something we've got to look at. And what we want to do is be able to get as specific as possible. The more specificity you have, the better when you're solving problems. You show how your product and service will solve that problem that you discovered from step number one, in question number one. As an example, for instance, let's suppose you're providing AI tools that help in writing. And you go to someone and they start using, a customer uses that, and they find, wow, it was taking us this much time before, say 5 hours, for one of our writers to put it together, and then we had to get a graphics artist to build it and all that. Now they use AI, the artist now, the writer, can do it much faster, much better by using tools that we talk about in our Stark Raving Entrepreneurs, like, of course, ChatGPT with the other GPTs that are coming out to support that, and plugins that are still there. We're using those, they're doing well, but also creating it through DALL-E and through Midjourney, through Stable Diffusion, tools like that that give you the ability to create those. And so if they were spending this much time, money and time before, now they can do it in, say, $50 per episode, and they're able to do it much faster in only 30 minutes. It was taking 4 hours before. Now make that very specific and quantifiable. That's what you want to do, is you want to make sure that people are seeing that and they see the real way that it's solving it so that it's measurable. Gina, you're an engineer. You deal a lot with measurable and specific things like that. Tell us how that applies in the world of marketing.
Well, even if you believe that your new product or service is going to solve your client's problem, the more that you can assign a specific measurable result that they might achieve and help them think about specific measurable results that they will achieve, the more successful you're going to be. For example, let's say that you have a health business, that you're in the health field. Well, in the health field, you could offer a product and service. You could say it's going to help you feel healthier and have more energy, be more alert, versus more specific and measurable is to say, you are going to lose 10 pounds in 3 weeks with this new product. So that's very specific and measurable, and that's the real difference there. I think back to the days when I owned a real estate company in Atlanta, and well, everybody would say, we can sell your home fast. We can sell your home faster than the other guys. Well, we adopted the slogan of Domino's Pizza, which was, I guess, still fairly new at that time. This would have been back in the mid 90s in Atlanta, Georgia. And our guarantee was, we will sell your home in 90 days or less, or we'll sell it for free. So if we didn't have the home sold in 90 days, then we would not charge a commission. So that was our pledge, and that helped us get a lot of business. And I know people do it now. I've seen this a number of times over the years, but back in the 90s, this was really groundbreaking.
I like that. Gina, I did not know that. Those of you watching this, I didn't know that and she had done that. But I think that's a brilliant strategy. So each of you, think about what you can do that's unique. What can you do comparable to that? We'll sell your home in 90 days or we do it for free. Something that you can do. And so you're putting some skin in the game. People go, hey, she's standing up here and saying she's going to take that responsibility. She's got to be good. Well, then let's take a look at the third and final trigger that's out there. The question, I should say, because it's trigger. What you're looking at is, does this trigger deeper, sustainable connections? That's what Anne Handley was talking about, and I think it's so important. It's really about relationship marketing, which is something I've been talking about for many years. I say it's not about the e-commerce, as nice as that is and as good as that is. It's about the our commerce, relationships, building relationships with others. And now we can use AI tools to find out what you can do to help your customers more than ever and to be positive about it. By using these tools of AI, you're going to be able to connect with people with hyper-personalization. That means you find out specifically what they want, not just talking about what you think is great, but you really get to know them. Hyper-personalization is a term we're hearing a lot in AI now. Matter of fact, do a Google search on that and do a ChatGPT prompt on that. There's something we're starting to hear more of. Do a ChatGPT prompt on hyper-personalization and think about how you can do that. This is where people are going to stand up and look at it and go, hey, they know about me. They're looking at what I said because I asked for that a little while ago and now there it is. Now you make sure you don't do it in a creepy way. Because if you say, gee, I'm thinking about Buicks would be a nice car, maybe that Buick was nice, and now they think, okay, you're buying a Buick, and they give you gobs of ads on Buicks, as good as they are. We don't need to be swamped with that. So you want to use a good human reasoning with it, but go for hyper-personalization. And matter of fact, Gina, I know you were doing some research on a club that's out there about beans, of all things. And as I look at that, I thought, that's fascinating. Tell me a little bit about the research you've been doing on this.
Well, I was thinking about, okay, if I were launching a new product or service, how can I create that deeper, sustainable connection with my clients? And you can offer a lot of products, but one that came to mind that truly is above a great example of a deeper sustainable relationship with the customer is what's called Rancho Gordo Bean Club. And a few years ago, a friend of mine told me about this. And at first I thought she was joking because she knew I was vegan and eating plant-based and I love to eat beans. And that's, one of my core foods. And she said, "Oh, are you part of the Bean Club?" And I said, "Bean Club?" I didn't even know what she was talking about. And so she said, "Oh my God, you got to join the Rancho Gordo Bean Club because we are a club. We get deliveries of great beans and we get recipes and we get invited to special dinners and we have a special Facebook group just for us." And I investigated. I thought, boy, that's amazing and wild. And how much different is that than the beans that are sitting in my pantry that I ordered through a delivery service? I don't even know what brand they are. They work as beans, but I'm not part of the bean club. And so I think that that's a real example of developing a raving fans. And they did very special things to take this essentially a commodity product and make it into something very special. In fact, you can't even join right now. There's a wait list.
That is interesting. A wait list for it. Well, I think that shows there's a lot of excitement for that. And so I would say for you that are watching this, that are listening to this, if you're catching this on our podcast and listen to it, think about ways that you can create that kind of hyper-personalization. Use AI as a tool to really serve your customers better than ever. You can do it when you do it right. You can do, as we're working with our clients right now, showing them specifically how to use it, they're saving money, getting more done in less time for less cost, and increasing their sales dramatically. So some good things are happening with that. What you want to do is be able to use all of this to build better relationships and to make sure you're using those things that are going to help others. And you can find out more about that at starkravingentrepreneurs.com. Bounce over there, take a look at it, and be sure and like and share this so that this helps those wacky algorithms to know, hey, you like this kind of thing and you believe in working with that. So Gina, we're going to be looking at using those three questions that Ann Handley gave us. I think it's got some real good application in AI and in our business. What do you think?
Well, I'm just so grateful for AI tools. It's changed our lives so much better already. I use AI every day for business and personal, and love sharing it with our clients. We're hosting an AI lab today for our community of Stark Raving Entrepreneurs, and that's just a great chance to look under the hood of different AI products and see how they're working. There's so much opportunity out there. It's like the early days of the internet, which I
Yeah.
remember well, and not seeing the vision at that time of how much the internet would impact our lives. But since I did see that, now I am seeing how AI is going to impact our lives.
Yeah, it is. We always love those times, and we do them every so often. So bounce over to starkravingentrepreneurs.com. You'll see that. We do those every so often for our members and find out ways that you can get involved with it. Matter of fact, we've got some goodies for you here talking about AI. If you're using some tools, we've got something free for you. There's no charge at all. AI tools for the number 4, BIZ. AI tools for biz.com. You're going to learn about ChatGPT and some of the capabilities there. Canva, which is great, packed with all kinds of great AI as well. DALL-E 3, which you can use for creating pictures and graphics in a real nice way. ChatGPT and DALL-E 3, both owned by OpenAI, the company that's given it that and brought that to the world in a big way. Stable Diffusion is another one we talk about. And also, if you do any kind of public speaking or presentations, online or offline, Yoodli. Yoodli is a tool you want to look into. It has the ability for you to get better all the time. We're using it and it is fabulous. So just bounce over there, AItoolsforbiz.com. There's the QR code for you that are catching this on video. You'll be able to see it right there pretty quickly and easily. So Gina, I love these ideas of using the AI tools as well as time-honored principles of relationship marketing. Seems like a really good combination. What do you think?
I think so, an absolutely winning combination.
Absolutely. Well, say thank you very much for joining us today. And matter of fact, we've got some more goodies for you. Right up here, we've got a video that we did before about Anne Handley's quote. You'll learn that. It'll be really good, and some others as well for you that you're going to like. Come back and see us again. We look forward to seeing you in the future.